Hey guys, I hate this one. I don't have it set up right. Okay, um, so I wanted to give you the part two of how to manifest, still get your, still keep your vibrations up even in the darkness, even when things are going bad. You know, it's really hard when things are going wrong, regardless of what it is in your life. You've got a bad breakup, you have family strife, you have money issues, you have health issues. Um, you're unhappy in your marriage, you have an issue with a friend, you're worried about somebody's health, whatever the case may be, when it's dark, you're dealing with a death, you're missing somebody deeply, somebody's betrayed you. Um, it seems to be what we're thinking about all the time. We even dream about it, right? And, you know, people say they don't know how to manifest, but that is exactly how you manifest. But what happens with that is your dwelling, your worry is pretty much manifesting. It's meditating on the negative, okay? And what you need to do is you need to. Have you ever stepped outside of yourself? Just it's really hard to do. It's easy. I guess it's simple, but it's not necessarily easy. But once you can do it, once you can take a deep breath and you can step outside of yourself and almost like view the situation from an impartial standpoint, it's easier to have faith then, okay? And what I like to do sometimes is, and don't get me wrong, I am human and I do the same as other people. I panic, I freak out, and then I have to kind of knock myself across the head and go cut it out. God is good. If you trust God and if you truly know who God is and how powerful He is, you step back and you go, okay, all right, I may not get what I want when I turn it over to Him, but I'm going to get what's best. And I trust Him to give me what's best for myself and for everybody else involved. And if you're like me, you're naturally a control freak. See, I was alone for so many years. I raised my kids alone. I think even prior to that, when I was in my family, you know, with all the abuse and stuff, I think it's just a natural need to control everything, to make everybody happy. And, you know, I've screwed things up so many times by trying to fix things, by trying to make everybody happy. And it's not, have you ever noticed it's not until you're just completely done that you're able to let it go, and that's when things usually change? Why don't we just let it go and give it to God initially? I think it might be human nature, I don't know. But the whole line, you know, God helps those who help themselves, is not biblical. God helps those who cannot help themselves, who hand it over to Him and ask for His help. So, how do you do that when things are really dark? When you're, you know, you may even be under attack. All this stuff, like there's different levels. So there's stuff that happens of this world. It's just, it's natural. You know, we are, it's organic tragedy. I mean, we're living in a fallen world. It's not a perfect world, so things happen. You could have a natural disaster, death happens, you know, that kind of stuff. Or it could be of the evils of this world. We have so much corruption. We have people that they just don't care about other people, self-centeredness, greed, you know, whatever. So whatever the case may be, it could be those things. It could also be an outright attack, because we are in a spiritual war right now. I'm not going to take up a lot of time talking about that, because if I get going on that, we'll have a half-hour video on that. But never drop your weapons, okay? Never drop your weapons. If you're starting to feel like giving up, and I don't mean giving up and surrendering to God, but I mean giving up to a situation, surrendering to it. If somebody's very sick and you want to surrender to the illness, don't surrender to the illness. Surrender to God. If God chooses for you or that person to live with that illness for whatever reason, okay, but surrender to Him. Don't surrender to that illness. Don't surrender to drug addiction. Don't surrender to strife and divorce. Don't surrender to grief. Don't surrender to that evil spirit that keeps gnawing at you and not letting you sleep. You know what I mean? Don't ever drop your weapons, okay? If that negativity, that demonic energy gets you to the point of feeling like you no longer want to be in this world, you're thinking suicide or whatever, that is that negative spirit coming in trying to break you, because their whole point is all they want to do is steal, kill, and destroy. They want to destroy you. They want to destroy your family. They'll do it any means possible. They'll separate you. They'll cause financial strife. They'll cause medical strife. All kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying that every time somebody gets sick it's demonic, or every time somebody has a money problem it's demonic. But there are attacks in this world, and we are in battle right now. And if you don't believe that, then maybe you're asleep. I don't know, but we are in battle right now. Anyhow, how do you get through it? Okay, first thing in the morning, get back, go backwards, go back to basics. Okay, you've got to keep your vibration up. And in an old video, I actually show you, but just in a nutshell, I mean, take a deep breath in, hold it for 4 seconds. Okay, so you've got 4, 4. Do that 3 or 4 times. Your heart rate's going to go down. Even if you're in a major anxiety attack, you breathe in deeply and feel it, like fill your lungs, fill yourself up with air. Breathe in good. And each time you breathe in, imagine your energy lifting. You can even use your hands and lift it up. Hold it for 4 seconds. Push out the negative for 4 seconds. Do that a few times. Like I said, actually lift your hands. It may seem silly, but it works. Singing praise songs, that works. Living in gratitude, that works. If you have to, if things are really dark, write things down that you're grateful for. Even if you have to, like, really, I'm breathing. You know, like, you can't think of anything to be grateful for. You're breathing, you're here, the sun came out, whatever. When you write things down, when you speak the words out loud, it gives it a certain energy. The Bible says the tongue is our smallest member, but a very powerful member. When you write things down, if you're like me, that's the way I learn. I write things down. When I see something, when I actually write it, it trains the subconscious to remember it. So write your intentions down. So go, what's most important in my life? What do I want to focus on right now? Is it my health? Is it my family? Is it my job? Is it my money situation? And you can do all of the above. I just did all of the above. I did 6 major areas of my life. What I did, and there's no priority order in this other than God first, family second. But other than that, the rest of them aren't prioritized by importance. They're not listed by importance. So I've got, let's see, I've got God, my relationship with God and spirituality, family, my health, my business is money, and my relationships. And I sat down and I wrote my intentions, and I write them as if they've already happened. Okay, so I'm writing in gratitude, and as I'm writing them, I'm imagining this. For instance, with my family, you know, I communicate with them. We have open communication. We have love. We get together. I'm envisioning this, and I'm being happy about it, so I'm putting it out there. And then what I want you to do, and don't take a lot of time on this. I want you to sit back, and as you're writing them and you see them, and you know, you're feeling what it would be like as they manifest, because they're already here. There is no time, really, only here. We use linear time, nowhere else, so it can be here in an instant. Listen, open your ears, open your eyes, open your mind, listen intuitively. Because, again, we get lost in the details. God just gave me this lesson not too long ago. We get lost in the details. Details don't matter. Devil's in the details. You get caught up in those, you're going to get caught up in all the devil, the evil. Sorry, I can't even talk today. Devil's in the details. Stay out of the details. Know the bottom line. The bottom line is this. This is the end result. This is what's going to happen. Let God take care of how it's going to happen. And that's where the listening, the hearing, the obedience comes in, because he will give you something, whether you just know it in your gut, you hear a voice. Some people hear like an audible voice, some people just know it. Most of the time it's just a knowing. How do you tell the difference between what you want it to be and what he's telling you? Is it's a knowing. If it's just something you want, you know that's what you want, and you may even question it a little. When he gives you something, you know it to be true, even if it makes no logical sense. You can't explain it at all. You know it to be true, and you would bet your life on it. There's a lot, like I said, God helps those who cannot help themselves. So first of all, ask him. So you're writing these intentions, asking him, and envisioning the outcome. And then, God will do his part, and he wants us to do our part. So, for instance, with my family, I was saying, picturing us together, and what's my part in that? Well, God's part in that is helping to open them up to being open, giving them the time, giving all of us the time, setting it up so that we can do it, whatever. My part in that is being open, forgiveness. If I have some stuff I need to forgive, forgiveness, openness, be willing to make that initial communication, that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? Let's see, what else? Like my business thing, or the money thing. I need a certain amount of money. I'm manifesting it. I have it now. I have this amount of money. Thank you very much. I picture myself with the money. And then, I don't know how I'm going to get it, because in this world it's impossible, right? So I leave that to God. I just picture myself with it. And then he intuitively gives me, come up with these packages. Or he'll bring somebody, last week he did this to me. I got the intuitive message to put together these packages. And then I'm like, God, I need verification that this is you. Shortly after that, this man, he's suggesting that I make these packages. He's like, well, then you don't have to talk to 100 people. You only have to talk to 10 people, So anyway, where was I going with that? I'm sorry. So you let him do what he's going to do, and you do what you're going to do. And that's that. And listen and follow through. Next thing, record what you wrote. Record your feelings about it, how happy you are about it. Describe it. You don't have to do a whole long list. Do 1 or 2 intentions, whatever, and record it. You could either talk with another person who is not going to doubt you, who is going to celebrate with you and be with you like, like you are, actually celebrating this. They're not going to question you and go, oh, you're kooky for doing this, but somebody who will actually do it with you. Or if you don't have anybody to do that with, record it on audio or video, because once it's recorded, this is kind of weird, but once it's shared with another person and that other person receives it, or recorded, and then the mind doesn't know the difference between, you're looking at a recording or you're talking into a recording, then talking on the phone versus talking to a person, it puts it in your subconscious mind that it's done. You recorded it. It is. So try it, okay? And you know what? Biggest things with getting through the darkness is never put down your weapons. Walk in gratitude. Remain, even if you don't feel like it, boost your vibration up. Do something kind for another person. That always helps. It always helps. Especially if you don't want to. And just have faith that you'll get through this. And I'm here if you need to make an appointment or anything or whatever. And I'm doing this way because I know I didn't do a class this week or last week. I've been really not well. But I want to start classes again. But I wanted to give at least this to you guys. Why don't you give it a try? Let me know how it goes. And when we get together next week, next Tuesday, hopefully next Tuesday night, we can talk about it. And by then, you should have, some of your intentions should have come to pass. All right, I will talk to you very soon. And have a great night. Thanks for being here. And yeah, definitely leave me a message or, you know, come to the class. Let me know how it went or whatever. And I'm sorry for talking. I hate to make these long videos, but it always happens that way. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. God bless you. I hope everything's good. And don't let the darkness fool you. Light is always stronger than darkness. If you don't believe me, go in a dark room and turn on the light. All right, I'll talk to you soon.